Here with UVA-Wise men's and women's cross-country coach Donald Leech as his team gets set for the 2014 season. Coach, it's your second year in the Mountain East Conference, and it'll be your second year running against NCAA Division II opponents. What did your program and your runners learn from its first year competing against NCAA Division II schools?
We learned quite a lot. It was a wonderful challenge to try and reach NCAA 2 standards, and for the most part we succeeded in being competitive in these races. We learned there's a lot of depth to NCAA Division II. There's not many weak opponents, so you always have to be at your best every week at every competition. And we're continuing to build, to develop our depth and strength, and to be even more competitive each year.
Coach, you talk about depth, and that's important in any team. If you could, on both the men's and women's teams, talk about some of the returners you have that will be expected to be leaders for both teams.
The men's team, we lost 2 seniors, but we're bringing in 2 freshmen. The nice thing is, for example, our top 3 runners, Will Young, Shaquan Wilkins, and Anthony Wallace, are all coming back. All did superb work for us last year and are ready to do even more. 2 of them were freshmen last year, so they'll be ready to go this year. And then we have some depth behind them. Matt Parker, our team captain, and Tyler Morris, who missed last year because of surgery. He's back and ready to go, and several other runners. So we have some real depth there with our returners. With the women's team, we lost a critical component in senior Emily Brock, who was our captain and one of our best runners and heart of the team. But we have 3 or 4 new runners coming in, giving us very good depth for the women's team. We believe that Sarah Elben, who will be a sophomore this year, will again be leading the team as our number 1 runner. She's just a very strong runner. But we have 4 runners, including a couple of our returnees, Samantha Balthus and Whitney Carrico, and 2 freshmen, Eleni Bishop and Caitlin Emond, who are going to be so close together we have no idea who will be number 2 or number 5 between those 4. They're that close, which gives us great competition, and we'll have 5 superb runners. I think the women's team are going to be great to look at this year, because with these newcomers and with this new depth, the women's team is going to have a tremendous improvement, and they're going to be exciting to see.
Coach, and with cross country, you're building up for that conference meet at the end of the season. If you could, let the folks listening know how you go about training to achieve your personal best and your team best when the end of the season comes.
Yes, and that's a great point about training for that best, because essentially when we arrive on campus later in August, from day 1, our training is preparing us for that one race. The other races, in many ways, are preparation for that race. That's the one that tells us how we compare to the other teams in the conference, how we rank. So everything leads up to that. We schedule the training to build up to that particular race, rather than anything specifically earlier. So it's a long plan, a long-term thought. Keep the runners on track, not to worry about early issues or problems, and get them just thinking about November 8th conference championship race, and just be ready for that, mentally and physically.
That's UVA-Wise head coach Donald Leech as the men's and women's cross-country teams will open up the 2014 season on September 13th at Montreat.